Hello everyone! This is kinda old news, but I really want to talk about it because this is something that in the last 3 months has been something that I have been so excited for, and I really want to bring it up again. Next generation Armor 3.0. I don't know if that's what they're calling it, but there was Armor 2.0 before, and now, so I'm gonna call it Armor 3. That'd be pretty epic if I called it Armor 3. So I kind of want to go through this developer insight one more time from a couple months ago. And I want to talk about some of the things that I'm personally excited about with my experiences with Armor, my experiences not wanting Armor, and my experiences with Armor now. So I'm really excited. So let's jump right in. So, it's kind of old news, so I'm not going to reread the whole thing. But basically they say, hey, listen, Armor needs to be exciting again. Stats need to be easier to manage without so much need for fine-tuning. D2 Armor Picker is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful website that has helped me so much. I wish it didn't exist. I wish we didn't need D2 Armor Picker. I wish it wasn't impossible to figure out what armor was good and what armor was bad and which armor was good with it. So they are talking about moving it to separate stats. And the most important thing for me is they want you to go all in. You see right here, discipline from 100 to 200 provides an increasing chance to give a bonus grenade charge whenever your grenade becomes available. I love this. Just little things like that. Because you can do 1 to 100 if you don't really want, like, a ton of grenades, but you want, like, some. But if you're not on, like, a build that super needs all the grenades, it's pretty epic. And it's a lot more straightforward. It's just grenade. It's just, well, I think they say somewhere in here that they're going to change it. But, yeah, so discipline. And then they're renaming the stat to grenade for improved readability. I want to make a video eventually about readability and transparency with Destiny. I think one of my biggest problems with the game is that nowhere in the game is there a way to look into what the perks actually do. So I really like that they are just, there's no bullshit. Like, why does it need to say discipline and you need to know that discipline needs grenade? It just seems unreasonable. Strength being renamed to melee, same thing. And then special ammo, this is one I'm really excited about. Because ammo economy has been such an issue for the longest time during the game, and this is an excellent, excellent way that we can try and improve ammo economy in a way that feels natural, that players feel like they have input in. Sure, special ammo finder, heavy ammo finder, Alethonym, these are all Alethonym especially, these are all movements in the right direction. But I feel like for players who want to run double special, or whatever it is they're using and want to have a ton of ammo, this is great. So, now that we've talked about stats a little bit, I kind of want to look at this image. I love the little chesty the chest armor. The mind is malleable, filled with transient and fleeting ideas. Let us shape it so that you may see the infinite splendor of the universe. I really like these, like, in-house little development pieces. I like seeing that they're, like, kind of having fun with it. These armor mods, the set bonus, it's very readable. It makes a lot of sense. Right now, it doesn't make sense when you look at your character in game. So, this is great, in my opinion. And this is just a mock-up from 3 months ago, right? So, I don't know why they're using the hand cannon loader and these old ones from over here. I don't know what improved hand cannon dexterity means with this plus. I don't know if they're going to go back to this system that was around before Lightfall. It was around in Witch Queen and before that, where you used to have to, instead of saying all arc weapons get a dex bonus, you would just get hand cannon dexterity or shotgun dexterity, and that was pretty... I don't know which one I like better. I think for the current state of the game, I like the system they have right now, but it also makes it somewhat more limiting. I think they're both fine systems. It just comes down to, like, how they want to handle kinetic and energy slot. And I don't know how I feel about that, but I want to make a video eventually about the reason that I'm unsure if the kinetic and energy slot is kind of like an outdated concept. Because we have stuff like tessellation and, there's no reason I can't run a full light build if I want to. Why do I need to have a kinetic weapon, So that's kind of where I'm at, but hopefully if they're moving towards something like that, that's what this is for, But I'm not sure. We'll see. So moving down, we're going to talk about the set bonuses next. Set bonuses are something I'm so excited about. Absolutely. This Text Mechanica one, this is going to go crazy with DMT. But just going through it, the thing I love the most about this is that it's a 2-piece, 4-piece set. And you have 5 armor pieces, which means that you get to use an exotic. And I really like that they thought it out like that. But final blows with freshly reloaded weapons heal you. That's great for stuff like heal clip, volt shot, all this stuff. Damaging a target with a shotgun or fusion rifle increases the damage it takes from... This is kind of But this is so exciting. When was the last time you were excited about a piece of fucking armor? Hello? Like, looking at the history of armor, there was Avarok with the first Artifice armor, and you farmed him on Master. And Artifice armor used to, instead of giving stats, it used to give you extra artifact perks, because artifact perks used to be equipped onto certain pieces of gear, but it would eat an entire armor slot. So if you wanted to have, like, whatever Lucent Finisher was available at the time, you needed to put it on your class item or something. And not having access to that stuff sucked. So Artifice armor was such a big deal. So then Lightfall came around and they made all of the artifacts passive, which meant, what do? Well, we take the armor that originally had this great grand purpose and we give it 3 extra stats and whatever you want. Sure, stats are great, but it made armor matter even less. Like, it didn't matter anymore. And then there was all the cheeses, and I'm not opposed to any of the cheeses, but what I have a problem with is that they nerfed Keitel so bad that Keitel gives like 59 total stat armor, so it's like not even worth farming. And then people were farming Galron when Lightfall came out because he could jump off the ledge, which was like high-key really funny. It was a really good farm. You just like run off the ledge and Galron would be like, I'm coming! And then you'd be like, Anon, no, I can't grab your hand. And Galron would be like, what? And then he'd fall. So it was pretty epic. But that was just like duality, right? So thinking about it, me personally, if I pull up my dim, I have so much armor that I don't care about. Like, I have the pieces I use, right? And then I have the pieces I don't use. And I have all these pieces that are good stats. I've got this one from Failsafe. I should probably delete this. I've got this one from Failsafe. I should probably delete this. This one from Failsafe. I should probably delete this. You're starting to realize a trend, right? They're from fucking Failsafe. The best way to get armor in the game right now is by not playing the game. It's by talking to Failsafe in the tower. Or it's in the helm, whatever, who cares? But it's, hello? Why is there no activity that gives armor that means anything? Why is the best armor in the game from the Season Pass and not from the dungeon on Master Mode, or the raid on Master Mode, or even the raid on Normal Mode? I've gotten some really good armor pieces from raids before, and people giggle when I'm like, yeah, I got this one from Nezarec. And they're like, what the fuck? How did you get a good armor piece from Nezarec? And I don't know. I'm the GOAT, right? But these very small things that they do to improve the readability, the chase, I'm so for it. Every day of the week, I'm so for Bungie giving me a reason to log on, besides the fact that I want to play. I want Bungie to make me feel like my time on Destiny is spent getting something I want and not entirely about refining my build. that's kind of where I'm at with armor right now. It's about refining my builds. For 99% of people, right? Who gives a shit? You hit 100 discipline, you hit 100 resilience, or if you're playing PvP, 100 recovery, and then you're done. The other stats literally have no impact on the game overall, right? Like, yeah, if you have 100 intellect on Dawnblade, you'll probably get 2 or 3 supers in a control match, but you also got to be popping off. So, like, at that point, it's not even about the intellect, it's about your skill. And you got to not die, so you don't get the passive hit from the overall regen. It's a whole thing, right? So, but it doesn't make sense to people, and it barely even makes sense to me. So, talking about this, I want to talk about this. I've had a lot of discussions with people. Sorry, I knocked over a can of Red Bull. I've had a lot of discussions with people about this next paragraph. What happens to my old armor? And people say to me, I don't want to refarm my armor. And I go, why the fuck not? Why the fuck not do you not want to refarm your armor? The current armor you're using will be worse than the new armor just by virtue of it not having a set bonus. Forget the fact that it's probably going to have slightly lower stat values than the new armor just to like entice you to play the content to get the new armor when that eventually comes out whenever Bungie decides it's done. So, again, I'm going to talk about the loot chase. Why do you... If you guys in the comments are not excited about farming new armor, let me know. And let me know why. Because armor is so exciting for me. You know, it's like, wow, guns are cool, but armor is... I can use my armor everywhere. You know, and the more armor I have, the stronger my guns are because I have good armor. But then you get to a situation where we're at right now, which is, oh, I have all the armor in the game, so nothing matters besides guns. So I also only play on one character. I really want to... I know I showed it earlier and it had 3 characters, but I really only use the other characters for like checkpoints or pinnacles or whatever. So I really don't play on them very much. I think if I was to pull up my like year in review, I think it would be like 98% hunter. I think. So then they talk about exotic armor, and they say here, oh, we don't know what we're doing yet. And so I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to say I hope Bungie comes up with a good decision. And then they talk about vault space. Holy shit. You guys need to be okay with deleting stuff. Like people who hang on to the ghost ships and the Red War weapons that you can pull from literally collections, and the Forsaken rolls that have been redone and power crept, and the Shadowkeep guns that are literally dog shit. Like, I don't know. Destiny, I talk about the memories all the time in Destiny, but nothing is more important to me than the fun I'm having right now. And so I have a couple guns in my vault that, you know, have some age to them that I'm never going to use again. I've got this Messenger in there. I have a Sunset. Well, it's not Sunset anymore, but Claws of the Wolf, because that was my favorite PvP gun in Shadowkeep when I played. I have some old Criminal's Daggers that have like 2,000 kills on them. I've got my Le Monarch that I don't use anymore, but it's got 3,600 kills on it in PvP. And yeah, I value those things. But that's like 15 things, you know? Like, maybe. And then I have all this armor, and I have all these new guns, and I'm constantly deleting stuff, especially exotics and crafted guns I don't use. What is in your guys' vaults? I gotta know. 700 spots? I'm having trouble I have trouble getting to 600 spots. And every time I clean my vault, it's like, oh, it's just guns I didn't want to look at yet, and then I get in a call with my friends, and I go, hey guys, what should I keep? And we talk about it. And they say, oh, that's good, or that would be good here, and then I keep the stuff that I think would be fun. And then if I wind up never using it, that'll be it. It's gone. So this last line says codename Behemoth, talking about vault space. So it looks like this at the top is going to be more about armor for codename Apollo. But I'm very, very, very excited. And I do want to show this really quick. You know, I do really, really, really encourage you guys to read these yourself more than I do, you know, listening to someone talk about it. That's why I'm not really reading every single bit, but when I am reading, I'm reading word for word. So, where's the guns one? Where's the guns one? Is it this one? Yeah, I just want to shout out Swordy the Scout Rifle. When your sword isn't cutting it, you can always count on Swordy the Scout Rifle. And it has the Kvostov, model. And it's an aggressive frame that fires a 3-round burst. And it's got impact casing. Like, this shit is so funny. And I don't know if this is, like, because it's tier 5, because they're going to introduce the tier system, which I think is going to be great for the game personally. I think, but I think, should I make a video about things that are difficult to get? I don't want to talk about Trials, because Trials is bullshit. And they should get rid of Flawless. Maybe I should make a video about how Trials is bullshit when it comes out tomorrow. Because last week I played a lot of Trials, and the thing about Trials is that you have to earn passage to playing the game, right? If you don't go Flawless, all your time is wasted, and that's kind of the problem. At least if all you want is specifically the gun that's featured that week. You know, because you can farm and farm and farm Trials, but if you're not getting Flawless, your chances of getting the gun that you're farming for are so low. I don't know, it's just me. Obviously, you can play and earn engrams and get the rolls from Saint 14, but that kind of feels like dog shit, you know? It doesn't feel fun when everyone else has the shiny Adept. And it's a different situation than with the armor, right? Because armor, you can grind and you can refine your build and you can get better, and the PvE content will only be the PvE content. So I don't know how I feel about locking good weapons behind PvP that are good in PvE. I don't know if I like that, but that'd be a good idea for a video another day. So, you know, with that in mind, you know, keep me in the loop with what you guys are thinking. Let me know what you guys think about some of these set bonuses. Some of them kind of fucking suck balls. Like, direct hits with explosive weapons temporarily increases their reload speed. Hello? Compared to final blows with freshly reloaded weapons heal you. Like, that is so crazy. Or activating your grenade gives you and allies damage resistance. Like, hello? Or special finisher being on your armor. Like, and it doesn't even require orbs, or at least to our knowledge from this little blurb. But some of this stuff is so good and some of it is so bad. So I really hope that Bungie does a good job with making everything feel equally, or at the very least have a hierarchy of power. That's something I think Bungie really needs to do, is make it feel like there's kind of like progression again. At least for the end game, because every year we start off with the power level getting reset, and we have to build our way back up. And I think that's really fun. I don't think pinnacle farming every year is every season is fun, but I really like the idea of like building up to max level every year. I think it's fun. But my Helio from last year is still stronger than a lot of the guns that I have now. And that is good, right? I want my stuff to still be good, especially if it's stuff I love, like my heliocentric. But I want the new stuff to feel like it matters. So, you know, maybe my Helio's good in lower level content, and then it's really good in like certain high-end content, but you know what I mean? Especially for a gun like a world drop like Helio. Like, Helio is so good, and I don't think Helio should be as good as it is. But it is as good as it is, and I'm really happy that it is as good as it is. I wouldn't change it, but if I was designing Helio, I'd be like, guys, this should probably come from a harder activity other than, like, Lost Sectors and World Drops and Gunsmith Engrams. That's just me. But it's also a sidearm, and people don't like sidearms, which is a whole other thing. I should make a video about how sidearms are so slept on, and honestly, not even slept on. They're kind of hated. I feel like a lot of people I talk to, they're like, yo, I can't do it with the sidearms. I don't get it. I can't stand them. And I'm like, what do you mean? Sidearms are epic. Especially in PvE. PvP, it's a little difficult, especially with certain frames, to get the proper ranges on certain maps, and the way people play right now is really tough unless you're very like aware of it. And even then, I'm no god when it comes to sidearms either. But I find that it has a steeper learning curve than something like a pulse rifle. So this was kind of a very rambly video, but I really wanted to not only get something out today, but get something out that I felt was exciting. New year. Yesterday I made a more negative video, but the day before, was my video yesterday negative? It was kind of negative in terms of like the theming. I don't like crafting. So this is something more positive. I'm excited for Armor 3. I'm excited for Armor 3.0. I'm really looking forward to wanting armor again. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.